This simple automation doubled my sales and my book calls. I'm going to show you high level what I did and why I did it so you can go implement it. Now, the tools that I'm using in this is simply GoHighLevel. You can use this with other softwares, but it becomes a little more complicated. Now, this is a really top of funnel, high-end solution that's going to help you maximize the leads that are coming in and convert at a higher level, especially if you have a sales team over 2 or 3 people. So first off, what we used to do is we would send traffic to a calendar. So we had a landing page with a calendar embedded on there and people were able to book. And that worked and we get really decent conversions with people booking calls. But we weren't able to route that to any directions. And then we do get a lot of drop off in that calendar process when people maybe pick a time and they start filling things out and either they get busy, they walk away, they don't want to commit. And so the simple solution was to implement a form ahead of time. Now there's a few pieces to this that are making it more powerful than just a form that reroutes to a calendar. So I want to show you kind of what I did. Okay, let's jump in. So this is kind of a simple version of what I built. It's a landing page with a simple form. So instead of having the calendar embedded right here, we just went ahead and implemented this form. So we're asking as few questions as possible, and a specific reason why I'm asking all of these questions. So I'll explain each one. Obviously, we want name. We want that in the CRM. We try to get business emails because we can enrich and learn things about the company from the domain itself, which is a more advanced part and it'll be in a different video. Phone number, obviously we want mobile so we can text, confirm, things like that, which adds a lot of value. So instead of just asking for phone number, ideally ask for mobile. Website, sometimes people will email you, say business email, still use Gmail. So I find it critical to have that website so we can do research on them, learn about them. And then we actually use a lot of AI enrichment later on. Again, that'll be a different video that will help us retarget, kind of capture their information, enrich our CRM automatically. And then this is the piece that's going to help you actually double bookings. And it's the piece that's actually going to help you double sales. So the form itself helps me double bookings because what happens is they're going to go ahead and fill out this information, hit next, and then we have a higher conversion rate on this form than they do on the actual scheduling. So it's like an abandoned cart. Basically, once we capture it here, then we can retarget them through a pending booking series if they don't actually book a call. So we just treat it as an abandoned cart. We have a whole bunch of triggers involved. We tag our BDRs to call them. We use AI to enrich this. We create all these custom things. So that helps us double the amount of people that actually end up booking later because they get re-triggered to book. But then to double sales, what we did is we took a simple question. And this question was basically, where are you in your process? And are you looking to work with us right away? So the only one that's really signaling that they're hot is we're ready to hire a firm. So that's it. And what that does is if they click that, I know that they're looking and they're serious. Everything else here is, and you can segment this in different ways. These kind of are all the same. This one is really just putting it to a different team member. But with each one of these, what we're doing in the magic is it's routing to a different team member. So right here are our high level closers. These are the people with the highest conversion rates. So you take your best salesperson and you give them the best leads. The reason why you want to do that is because clearly they convert the highest. You use different tools, whatever you know who your best salesperson is, and you want to give them the best leads because they're the most likely to close. So you don't want them wasting their time at these opportunities. And you want them to be filled up to the brim with these high level leads. Now, everything else here just directs to a different calendar link. You can even have ones that don't go to calendar links, so you could pre-disqualify here. But let's go ahead and fill this out and show you exactly what happens. I'm gonna put test. All right, so this is just gonna redirect to a calendar. And then what it does is it redirects to our VIP calendar. So if we selected the other option, it would redirect to just our demo call. And that's the magic. And that's how we're going to double our sales with this lead. And now I'm going to show you kind of the back end. And if you guys like what we're doing, make sure to stick around. I'm going to give you guys a free list of over 1 million leads. So there'll be a opt-in form in the description down below and a couple other freebies. So if you like what we're doing, just make sure to subscribe down below and it'll automatically get sent to you. Anyways, let's continue through this process. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did this. I'm going to try to keep it a little high level so you might not see every detail, but this will help you get started. So first off, let's go in. Let's see if I can find, you do need to create the calendars. Calendars is very much a different video. It's very intensive. We have a whole bunch of calendars in here. So if you don't know that, I believe I already made a video. Check that out on my YouTube. or just search for it. In GoHighLevel, calendars are extremely powerful. With that, they are a little complicated to set up. So you need 2 calendar forms. One is the actual pre-form, and there's a form on the calendar. So let's see, I will show you in here. So what you saw before was the pre-form, and this one is the form that they're going to fill out again. And it's a sticky form, so it'll bring over the information. It will not bring over the website, unfortunately. And then these are different questions. You want to, for conversion's sake, you want to keep these as short as possible. If you're getting too many leads or bad leads, that's where you might actually extend out that and make it harder for people to fill out. So you have to play with that. We used to have them really short and then get kind of spam or people that just didn't really care. So expanding it is actually good, and you can add disqualifiers in there. So you just have to find out that sweet spot for you, and it depends on how much traffic is coming in. But let's go back in. So we have these forms. So it's 2 forms. I'm going to focus on this pre-calendar form. So in GoHighLevel, so you're going to go to sites, you're going to go to form, and then I just created a new form. I already have one. Forms are fairly simple to set up. So this is what it looks like. These are standard variables, so they just come in from the standard variable. Website's also standard variable. The only one that's custom is this. So I did single drop down right here, and then when you come in, you'll go to options. You can put in all of the names of what you want it to be. Then you just need to format this. It is important to notice how this looks very nice. We can embed this because we get rid of the background. So do this. First off, go to the options. You want to make this a sticky form. So sticky is where it's going to push over the calendar. And so they put in their name. They don't have to type that in twice, because if they type that in twice, that's a pain in the butt. And honestly, you're going to get drop off. If I had to put my name, my phone number, my email in there twice, I would honestly just be ignored. I'd probably drop. So we make them a sticky form. Under style, you can kind of mess around with this. I just do a quick skim. There's nothing too complicated here. If you guys haven't done forms before, you drag in. Let's see anything else here. Colors, backgrounds. I think that's pretty simple. You can go to advanced settings, remove the background is a big one. So getting rid of this background again, so you can embed that. And that's just going through here. I think that's on the standard background right here. And you can make this click. So that's what the form looks like. I know this was high level on how to build the form, but I'm sure you can figure it out. The piece that you need to know is the logic. So the logic is how it's redirecting based criteria. So all you have to do is come here and go redirect by URL. You can also disqualify by specific things. So if they said, if you had revenue and they said they don't have revenue, pre-revenue, whatever you need to disqualify, we've used that very heavily in the past. So we fluctuate again based on how many leads are coming in, what those lead sources are. If you're doing something like a Facebook kind of very top of funnel, you might block disqualifications involved, but you're going to go to redirect. Then for here, you're going to select what this is. So reason for booking, and then which one is it? So is equal to, and then this one would just be that specific landing page that we had built out. And I'll show you high level how I did those landing pages as well, so you can redirect it. But basically I have right now just is equal to that high ticket one, then, or the ready to order, then it's going to go to the VIP. Everything else is going to go to the demo page. So that's all you have to do with that form. Then in your other calendar, let's see, I didn't change anything. Your other calendar form is going to be the same thing. Again, this is just what's in that actual calendar. These are pretty easy to set up. If you have questions, put them in the description or the comments below, and I'll make sure to make a second video for you guys. So we got both our calendars set up. You're going to want to put them onto a landing page. So I will show you what I did here. Let's go back to, we'll go back to forms. So back on sites is where you're going to have websites and funnels. So I use both. Our main one is going to be under websites for us, and you just hit new website. And then all we're doing is embedding it into a website. So if I click on edit here, so for design, I typically use designers. The landing pages aren't super UI friendly, but these can be really simple. You don't need any of this below. And what I would really do is logo at the top, some kind of explanation here of what the service is, because you're going to be driving a lot of traffic here. So you want to explain what you're doing and what the story is, then your form, and then maybe something simple like this and reviews. And then it's important that on this form, you notice it doesn't say book now, it says next step. So you're explaining to your audience that there's another step in the process. You're just kind of communicating everything that they need to do. And so that's all you have to do there. And when you come in here to embed this form, you just do form. You would drag this in. Go ahead and not put that there. And then you just select your form. Here we go. You select your form. So that's the name of our form, is the pre-calendar. Then save and publish. I'm not going to save this. The other piece of that is you want everything to be on landing pages because you want theme, domains, and URLs. So under sites again, I have all of my calendars basically under funnels. And then I have calendar funnels, and each one of these, basically what I'm doing is I'm giving them a clean URL. So I just create a new page, name it, give it a path, and then in there, I'm going to edit this. These pages are literally just the calendar, but the reason why we're doing that is because the URL is much cleaner. So this is our URL versus at demo something or other. And then same thing here, you just calendar, drag that in, select the calendar that you want to use. You can actually integrate with Calendly. That's kind of up to you. I prefer getting this all embedded into one system. You could do HTML and put stuff in there, but then it won't be sticky, so it won't work as well. So I would recommend using the GoHighLevel kind of system. You can custom code this with other softwares as well. So that's how you're going to do that. And I think that's really the main piece of it. There is an automation that I'll show you next. So under funnels, we covered that. So the last piece of this is an automation. So if you go back to sites, automations, you create a new automation. So by clicking create new, and then basically what you'll do is set your trigger. This isn't set up yet. I'll have to modify this from our new system, but you'll set up your trigger as, let's see, form submitted. So you'll do form submitted, and then this will be the specific form that you selected. Form is, and then we're going to do pre-call, and then I'll actually save this. Save trigger. So now that will actually trigger when someone fills out that form, and then I'm going to basically set a goal that if they book a call, it will remove them from this automation. The other thing here that's going to be more advanced that I will do in a different video is you want to, if you feel like it, we're going to use a webhook, and then we're going to actually enrich that data. So we'll use tools like Apollo and Appify and Scrape, and we'll actually scrape the website. We'll learn about them and make a profile for them. We'll add in their address, we'll add in their revenue. We'll do some other things like that. And then we'll actually send this out and create a task to our BDRs to try to get them booked. So a lot of things happen in the background. That's a little bit more advanced, which I'll show you in another video. But I hope you guys like this. I hope it helps. Again, one of the key things here is the automation to follow up to get people to actually book. So if they kind of abandon cart, and then the actually kind of pre-screen them. So instead of having a BDR or a business development representative, an SDR, sales development representative, going in and calling them and say, hey, are you really interested, blah, blah. They can really pre-screen themselves, especially if you use a little bit of AI and enrichment, and then you go ahead and put that onto your closer's calendar. So that way they are more likely to close those really hot deals. Both of those pieces will help you. If you guys like videos like this, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you.